big news dropping today. Number one, shout out to my man Rowan Chang, who says if leaks are true, OpenAI Dev Day could be the biggest AI event of 2023. Now, it looks like a lot of the leaks are coming from this account, Arrakis AI, which wasn't this the new huge AI model that OpenAI was planning to roll out, but looks like it ran into some tech issues. So it looks like it's a reference to that potentially. But they're saying, number one, Gizmo is announced. So Gizmo V8, the new ChatGPT prototype, is going to have a brand new look and a ton of features. Here's some of the features that it will have. Keep in mind, take this with a grain of salt, these are rumors, but we do have a lot of video and screenshots of this thing. So looks legit, but we're about to find out probably in the next 24 to 48 hours. So first of all, Sandbox provides an environment to import, test, and modify existing chatbots. Custom actions define additional functionality for your chatbot using OpenAI specifications. Knowledge files attach additional files to your chatbot that the chatbot can then reference. Tools provides basic tools for web browsing, image creation, etc. Analytics view and analyze chatbot usage data. Drafts save and share drafts of chatbots you've created. So think of this like GitHub, but for chatbots. Publishing publicly distribute your completed chatbot. Sharing set up and manage chatbot sharing. Marketplace search and deploy chatbots created by other users. In the post by Arrakis AI, he also mentions that you're going to have a team plan and a workspace plan. Looks like it's going to be 25 to 30 bucks a month, but both plans start 90 per month with a minimum of 3 users. The team plan adds benefits such as unlimited high-speed GPT-4 access, 4 times longer context. So this is probably the 32,000 token model, the GPT-4 32K. We've had limited API access to this, but it looks like under the team plan, you'll have complete access to it. And unlimited data analytics. So that's the code interpreter. Most likely that's what it's referring to or something similar to that. Support for internally shareable chat templates and an ability to create workspaces for different roles and departments, etc. Roles include team member, manager, executive director, business owner, freelancer, etc. Categories for marketing, engineering, educational, professional, design, administrative, partnerships, research, sales, legal, and other. There are rumors of GPT-4 API price reduction, which is something that we've talked about before, potentially a large drop in the GPT-4 price for API usage. GPT-4 speed improvements 10 to 20 times. Maybe it'll be called GPT-4 Turbo. And the 32K general access, like we talked about, potentially DALL-E 3 API, image embedding, and GPT-3 open source release. It looks like he's ranking them from most likely to least likely. So GPT-3 open source seems like he's saying least likely. And he's also adding that's unlikely that we're going to have GPT-4 Vision as an API. So we're not going to be able to just tap into the GPT-4 Vision. Also, there are rumors of something called GPT Builder, aka Magic Creator. So GPT Builder will allow anyone to customize and share their own AI assistant, to create their own AI assistants, to create new GPTs. And looks like this guy, or gal, let's see, Tibor, he stated that he found it all in the public client-side source code, but it's just not enabled for everyone yet. Here's what that's looking like. So we have various output, tones, writing styles, etc. And you can customize your AI assistant by adding a name, description, custom instructions, conversation starters, files, kind of like code interpreter, specific capabilities, and so on. So it looks like you can enable various capabilities like web browsing, image generation, code interpreter, conversation starters, instructions, etc. And it looks like here that with the Actions tab, we're actually able to use APIs to have GPT have certain functionalities that it can use APIs to hook into other software, other apps. If I'm reading that correctly, this seems like a big deal. You can also add custom actions with API key. This seems like it's going to be able to call on it's going to be able to do some API calls. Is it any API calls? I can't wait to find out what this is about. This could be big. Next, we have context connectors. So for example, here, as you can see here, we're able to connect apps, a lot of different apps to ChatGPT. Here it's showing us the ability to connect to Google Drive and Microsoft 365. I'm looking at some of the tabs here in the background. Looks like they have ones for live crawling, social, for using Chrome, I assume Chrome browser, code interpreter, a small business starter pack. If I'm understanding this correctly, first of all, this is about to kill all plugins. All ChatGPT plugins are pretty much going to be gone. Any OpenAI wrapper, any ChatGPT wrapper, like an app that uses ChatGPT to just do some simple task like generate quotes or write something into Word or Excel, I think that's pretty much not dead because there's going to be still tons of room for very niche sites with niche use cases. But boy, a lot of them a lot of them seem in danger. So I got to give out a shout out to Shamav Palihapitiya. So if you're not aware, this guy kind of was born poor, became a billionaire. He helped Facebook and Mark Zuckerberg sort of help grow Facebook. He's one of the guys on the All In podcast. Whenever I mention him, people hate this guy in the comments. So again, I'm not saying he's a good person. I know that a good percentage of the people listening to this probably hate his guts, probably because of there were some shady sort of pump and dump schemes that he may or may have not been part of. I have no idea. But he's been calling a lot of the things that are going to happen. And this is one of the sort of things that he called well ahead of everybody else. He says, don't build ChatGPT wrappers. Don't build simple apps on top of that thing. And the example he gave was what happened to Facebook and Farmville. So when Facebook was growing, Farmville was huge on there, right? I think at the peak, they said it reached 32 million daily active users, 85 million players overall. And it helped transform Facebook from a place you went to check in on updates into a time-eating destination itself. So basically, Farmville was built on top of Facebook, similar to how a lot of these AI apps are just built on top of OpenAI. And then Facebook decided to go a different way, so they kind of just nuked Farmville off their platform, which maybe Shamav had something to do with that. Maybe that was his idea. But he basically said that something similar would be happening to OpenAI. But it does look like a lot of the things that we've been talking about, a lot of the software applications that integrate with OpenAI, a lot of them will be obsolete, it seems like, if some of these rumors are true. Here's Arrakis AI. If current LLMs were to become 100 times more capable, seamlessly integrate into workspaces to automate tasks, who could argue that they're inferior to human labor? Maybe I think autonomous agents and models with 100-fold enhanced capabilities might have been achieved already. As AI regulations are discussed, it's conceivable that preparations for the expansion of platform services are underway during this period. And here they show an image from something we cover on this channel called Chat Dev. Specifically, they're driven by GPT 3.5 Turbo to design various software applications, little games like Flappy Bird, Snake, etc. And they have different departments using the waterfall model to create these software applications. They have a design section where the CTO and where these roles, notice like the CTO keeps popping up throughout various processes here, various sections. They design and outline what needs to happen. They create the code. Then they kick into testing. And this is where, for me, gets insanely interesting because testing finds bugs and kicks it back into coding. Coding tries to solve those bugs and then put it back into testing. I've seen this happen over and over again for one program until it actually figured out how to solve the task, how to debug that particular piece of code. And they were done. They're like, hooray. And they kick it off to documenting, and it creates like a little manual for the game or for the software, all the documentations, and then it's done. Absolutely insane because it's just GPT 3.5 Turbo API. Each one of these little characters are given a role and they work together to make this happen. It's absolutely mind-blowing. And this is what they're talking about here. Like, this already exists. So what happens when Mr. Sam Altman, when OpenAI creates a simple click and drag interface that allows anyone to just build something like this, not just for coding, but for their marketing department, for their content creation, etc. Here's a shot of what they're referring to as Gizmo version 8, V8. Yeah, I guess it's not version 8, V8 stands for something else, but ChatGPT can now browse the web, analyze data, and generate images, which is similar to the update that went out. So we'll see exactly what this adds. Here's a final quick note by Arrakis AI. So a couple of things that he's saying. One is he thinks there's a high probability that automated prompt generation tools will supplant this market. Then he's talking about knowledge files. This feature enhances GPT's ability to accurately respond to user requests. However, it implies a shift that could render the RAG system obsolete as a business model. This indicates the possibility of utilizing not only LLM models, but also various others, warning of OpenAI's expanding potential. Yeah, and this is kind of what I was saying, that this is, if I'm reading this correctly, the how it's going to use API calls within ChatGPT, especially if you're able to customize your own chatbots. I mean, that's basically an autonomous AI agent. Unless they build in some walls in there, some sort of limitations, a custom chatbot that you can customize along with it being able to do these API calls, along with, having knowledge and memory and stuff like that. The ability to create autonomous agents with this will be massive. And on top of that, add this, the emergence of marketplaces. An environment has been created where users can build and share chatbots directly. This represents a strong challenge to existing services. Again, if I build a autonomous AI agent that, for example, can effectively run an e-commerce store. Now, I know people right now that would pay thousands a month for that, at least, easily. I can post that on the marketplace and just sell it through OpenAI. The third-party people that are creating this or trying to create this. I mean, yeah, to say that it's a strong challenge to those existing services, yeah, that's an understatement. To me, it's more like the Death Star, right? Where it nukes that freaking planet. All the voices of all the little apps that were created all cried out at once and then were silent. It's more like that. So I'm not exactly sure how I feel about this exactly. I mean, this will provide these autonomous agents to more people easier, right? There's going to be less of a tech barrier. There's going to be less of a needing to find the best one. It's going to be like the App Store, but for autonomous AI agents. So that's good. But it does seem like it's going to gate a lot of people out of being able to build their own and create businesses around it, at least if they're planning to use OpenAI. I'm sure there will be open source competitors that do very, very well for specific use cases. But if you're planning to use OpenAI, well, you're building on their land, just like building on Google or Facebook or selling through Amazon. You know, people made a lot of money doing that, creating apps for the App Store, selling through Amazon, etc. But there's also a lot of people that got just nuked into oblivion because one day they woke up and found their store, their business, their livelihood gone, erased, because someone that lives somewhere in that Bay Area decided that that was the right move to make. Here's the future direction of OpenAI. The connectivity with autonomous agents is a critical aspect. Our company has independently researched the sharing and synthesis of tasks among agents. It will be possible to incrementally process user requests using agents shared in the marketplace, implying applicability across a wide range of domains. All right, so OpenAI Development Day is tomorrow in San Francisco, in lovely, lovely San Francisco, California. Developers everywhere will be able to live stream the opening keynote at 10 a.m. Pacific. That's less than 24 hours away from the time that I'm recording this. Oh, it changes colors when I click on it. Sorry, ADHD moment. Anyways, hope you enjoyed that. My name is Wes Roth. Thank you for watching.